Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Canandaigua. I'm Kevin House, your worship associate for today. And our service today is being led by Reverend Eileen Casey Campbell. The Unitarian Universalist Church is a group of spiritual freethinkers who gather to celebrate life, build community, and better the world. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. If this is your first visit, welcome to us, or welcome for coming. And please sign in on the podium in the front hallway so we can know who you are. And if it's your first visit, your 100th visit, we're glad that you came. A few announcements: please wear a mask. Masks are available for anyone who forgot one. There's no child care this morning. This is an intergenerational service, so the children are welcome to stay. We'll be collecting cards for joys and sorrows after our first hymn. Please fill them out or type into the chat box on Zoom if you have something you'd like to share. Are there any other announcements? As we prepare to be fully together, please silence your phones and devices. We now enter into a space of worship. Going to join me in the chalice lighting. If you don't know the words by heart, they're 448 in the back of the very window. Together in this hour, as people of faith, the joys and sorrows, the sins and needs, like this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, the celebration of what we share together.
Joining us this morning. I want to let you know, if you are at whatever age you are feeling a little fidgety, There are arts and craft supplies in 2 places at the back of the room, and you should feel free to move from your seat and grab some of those as you need. This morning's opening words come from Evan Carville Beamer. And before that, I want to offer our thanks for Aaron and for Scott filling in as our musicians today while Bill is not with us. Here are words from Evan. If we lived in another climate, our souls might speak other languages. We might speak oasis or permafrost, dry season or monsoon, but our souls speak spring. Our souls speak green shoots pushing through last year's leaves. Our souls speak flower buds stretching to the sun. Our souls speak mud puddle and nest building, damp earth and worm castings, tiny green leaves and frog choruses. We speak spring because spring sings in us. We gather to nurture our faith in our own growing, our courage to push through, our own blossoming in beauty, our own small part in the spring of this world. Come, let us worship together. I invite you, my friends, to rise in body or in spirit and to sing with us, masked in person or at home, our opening hymn number 1024 in the Teal hymnal, When the Spirit Says Do. We are a community that holds one another in our celebrations and in our pain. In our joys and in our sorrows, we say to each other, we are with you. So I invite you, if you have joys or sorrows on your heart this morning, to fill out the card that is tucked into your hymnal or to type into the Zoom chat, and we will send it forward for you. Are there joys or sorrows to lift up today? Now it's time for a game. Usually it's time for a story right now, but I want to ask, will you play a game with me? Okay, so I'm going to put this back on and I'm going to turn my microphone right off. Because we don't need our voices. So ready, first part. Ready. Thank you for playing with me today. And that is the end of our game.
Now is the time in our service for expression of generosity. Our gifts support the work of this church, and that work is summarized in our covenant. In service of the values that unite us, we will recognize the inherent value of each person, foster a community of compassion and caring for all, value our diverse opinions, and engage respectfully in all interactions. 1/4 of the plate collection today will go to Finger Lakes Land Trust, an organization that protects forests, farmlands, gorges, and shorelines in the Finger Lakes region of New York by creating public nature preserves. You can give to this morning's offering by placing cash or check in the basket, or if you're joining us from home by visiting canandaiguauu.org/connection/donate, or mailing a check to UUCC at 3024 Cooley Road, Canandaigua 14424. In either case, make a note that your gift is intended for today's offering. We now gratefully accept the offering.
We are holding one another in all these joys and sorrows this morning. Our hearts are with Megan, whose grandfather passed away. And with Michelle, whose daughter has COVID, whose daughter's fiance, hoping not to have COVID. We lift up a gratitude for not getting sick after having been exposed to COVID. And a large gratitude for Marty's daffodils, Marty who loves to give his gold away. And encouragement because they can't live here. They do so both. In all of these joys and sorrows, let us say to one another, we are with you.
We are with you.
And I ask Kevin to drop one stone in the water for these and all the joys and sorrows left in the silence of our hearts. Now is the time in our service for meditation and centering, followed by shared silence. Find a way to sit comfortably. Feel the good earth beneath you. Feel your breath move in and out. Feel the love of this community surrounding you. Let your voice and your thoughts fall quiet so that you can listen closely to the sounds of life. This morning's meditation is by Christine Walters Painter. What if you bowed before every dandelion you met and wrote love letters to squirrels and pigeons who crossed your path? What if scrubbing the dishes became an act of single reverence for the gift of being washed clean? And what if the rhythmic percussion of chopping carrots became the drumbeat of your dance? What if you stepped into the shower each morning only to be baptized anew and sent forth to serve the grocery bagger, the bank teller, the bus driver through your simple kindness? And what if the things that make your heart dizzy with delight were no longer stuffed into the basement of your being, but allowed out to play in the lush green fields? There are two ways to live in this world, as if everything were enchanted, or nothing at all. There is no in-between, although you keep trying to live this divided life, knowing deep down that something is awry. You have lived long enough with this tearing apart. Come out into the wide world and discover here companions and guides at every turn. Amen. Thank you so much for your willingness to play this morning, especially as we celebrate the new growth and blossoming of the world at this mid-spring holiday of Beltane, or May Day morning. Play is such an important spiritual practice at this moment of new growth because play is how all creatures grow. Human and non-human, brand new babies and ancient elders, play is the way that we adapt and grow. It's fundamental to being human, to being a creature. And even when we try not to play as adults, because adulthood is serious, we can't help it. Once a seminary professor of mine suggested in class that prayer was a form of play. Think about the elements of prayer and of play, she said. It's creative, it's imaginative, it's improvisational. It's a tool for our own growth. One of my fellow students disagreed. He said, but when I'm in prayer, it's serious. I take it very seriously. The professor smiled a bit and said, of course, it's play and it's serious. And I thought back on the hours I had watched children play as a kindergarten teacher. Have you ever watched a child playing with blocks? She moves them in her little truck from one corner of the room to the other. She stacks them carefully in towers and rows and walls, constructing new worlds. She smashes her project and begins again, focus on the play and not the product of it. It is serious business. And when she hears any suggestion that it's time to stop playing, you can see how seriously she takes it. Of course, play is serious. It's a child's job. It's our job. It may be the most important work we humans do. At least that's how I always tend to think of it, human work. But as we also celebrate International Workers' Day today, I think it might be important to be clear. Play is not work. It's not labor in any sense that our late-stage capitalist system can understand labor. In fact, it's a resistance to that system that values productivity of our bodies at the expense of almost everything good and healthy and natural to them. Play is natural, where labor is not. Sure, work, effort is natural and good in that it makes us feel proud and it assures our communities thriving. But labor, the selling of our bodies' work for the benefit of concentrated hoards of wealth in order for us to survive, there's nothing natural about that. Nothing about that is part of this call, the call of this wild, blooming season that we've now entered. In the Celtic Isles myths around Beltane, around this May 1st holiday, the goddess of the earth and the god of wild things remarry every year at this time, marry being a bit of a euphemism. And they produce an abundance of fruitful growth in the world out of last year's deaths. Their playful union is the source of life. And so humans celebrate it by playing as well. Most traditionally, they dance around a maypole, which you've maybe realized we will be invited to do this morning. They let go of orderly constraints of their daily lives and submit to a rhythm of the common dance. Play isn't work, it isn't labor, but it is fruitful, like spring. It worries not about outcomes or efficiency. But as Margaret Gunther put it, when we play, we celebrate holy uselessness. And dang if celebrations of holy uselessness aren't a big thumb of our noses at capitalism's abuse. Happy International Workers' Day. When on the first May Day labor demonstration in 1886, hundreds of thousands of laborers in Chicago walked off their jobs to demand the dignity of an 8-hour day, they were enacting the power of holy uselessness. And anytime we choose rest or creativity or play over production, we do too. Play is so important as a tool of resistance because we think and laugh and feel and pray and love as bodies. Practices like dance, touch, and play are rarely part of our religious life in our tradition. And they're sometimes belittled by those of us who either want to treat the body and its desires as sinful or who want to minister solely to enlightened minds. But they are essential for our cultivation of spiritual and community resilience, especially at this moment of economic reckoning in our country. The imaginative capacity of a creature at play is, I think, a highly spiritual trait. It is the humanity that unfettered capitalism would strip us of if it could. Play, though, play reminds us that we are no less free than the deer leaping across the meadow, than the birds who greet the dawn with a chorus of voices, than the dandelion who makes a space for herself absolutely anywhere her ancestors' seed has fallen. Play is the place from which all of us pray. It is the place from which all our deepest questions arise, because it is what opens us with wonder to the universe. Cultivating imagination through play allows us to make space for holy uselessness, where we can envision new ways of living, of sculpting the world in justice, of being together as community. Our play is resistance. And that untamed creative resistance is exactly what this season of wild tenacity invites us to. So enough talking, I think. Let's play. I want to invite you to celebrate this morning with a traditional maypole dance, which can be as much a delight to observe as it is to participate in. Although I am hoping we have at least 12 participants. Our folks who are Zooming from home, I invite you to dance where you are or to observe in delight. And here is how this will work. We need 12 dancers. So I invite you to think about whether you'd like to play this morning. I promise it's easy and simple. If so, come forward, stand by a ribbon. That's all you have to do at first. Don't pick it up yet, just stand by it. Claim your ribbon. Is every ribbon accounted for? Yes. Okay, now here's the hard part. We might take a couple tries at this. Turn to face a partner. So everyone should have a partner. We've got to try again. So Michelle, turn to Mary Beth. And then Vince, turn, and then, okay, here we go. Everyone has a partner. And now, while you're facing your partner, pick up your ribbon with the hand closest to the pole. So some of you will use your right hand, some of you will use your left. All right, you guys are brilliant at this. Now is the really tricky part. I'm gonna talk you through it before we add music. I promise, once you get the hang of it, it's very easy. So person holding the ribbon in your left hand, you're gonna go under the ribbon of your partner. Wait just a second. Just think about it for a second. Person with the ribbon in your right hand, you're gonna lift it up and go over your partner. So let's just try that. Left hand under, right hand over. To bring yourself and your ribbon right under and right over. Beautiful. And now the opposite. So we're gonna do, nope, stay right where you are. You got a new partner now. Everybody's got their new partner. Now we're gonna do left hand over, right hand under. Everybody's got their new partner. Now we're gonna do left-handers go under, right-handers go over. New partners. And left-handers go over, right-handers go under. You got this. You barely need me anymore. And now we just keep going like that. So if you just went under, go over. If you just went over, go under. And your partner will help you. When we play, we celebrate holy listening. Like the calf frolicking in the field, we need no pretenses or excuses. Work is productive. Play is fruitful. May it be so. Like the spring, like the earth herself, may we be fruitful. And now I invite you to rise in body or in spirit and to sing together our closing hymn, number 66, When the Summer Sun is Shining.
Please join me in the extinguishing of the chalice. Don't know the words. They're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The extinguishing flame of the light of truth, for our community, for our commitment, be together in our hearts, so we are together again.
Thank you.